all around the world where there seems to be farming activities, especially here in Africa and Ghana, there are two systems or two ways of farming. It's either rain-fed farming or irrigational farming. Today I've caught up with an agric extension officer in the eastern region for us to discuss the benefits, the disadvantages of choosing either of this system of farming, especially when you are now nurturing the love to go into farming. You should know these two systems, how it works, so that you can make a decision, especially when it comes to budgeting. So I'm going to chat with Patient for her to tell me a little bit more about this two system of farming. If this is your first time on the Ghanaian Farmer YouTube channel, please subscribe. Yes, subscribe, share the link, and let somebody get to learn a thing or two about farming. Please subscribe and share the link. Patience, thanks for joining me. Today we are discussing rain-fed farming or irrigation farming.
Yeah.
Now, when someone hears these two words, how do you explain or define these two systems of farming?
First of all, when we talk about irrigation and rain-fed farming, irrigation is just an artificial way of watering, giving water to your crops, and the rain-fed is you waiting upon the normal rain season by season to water your crops.
Okay.
That is the few difference that we have among them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rain-fed is you waiting, and then
Season by season.
God will rain.
Yeah.
So your soil can be wet, and then you can start planting.
Of course.
And then irrigation is the help of tubes connected to a dam or something to actually
or a well or something.
prepare the grounds for you to plant.
Yeah.
All right. So these two types of farming, when we look at the advantages of rain-fed and disadvantages, can you share a few?
Okay. When we come to the rain-fed, is you wait season per season.
Okay.
But when you come to the irrigation, the type of irrigation is all year round. You don't have to do calculations and wait on the metro to say, oh, okay, this year it's going to rain in 10 for any of the months, then you have to expect rain. This time around, it's being regulated by yourself. You have absolutely full control on the irrigation. So that's a few difference. And with rain-fed system, you just have to be reluctant. You don't have much activity to do because you're waiting on God to give you the rain. And then with the irrigation, you have system put in place, check and balances, monitoring. So all time your crops are fresh and all being monitored. But when you come to the rain-fed, you have to, at if it doesn't rain, then you are being discouraged. That the crops are dying. What am I doing? But with consistent irrigation, you realize that anytime you go to the farm, you are smiling because everything looks so fresh because there's monitoring of water being supplied to the crop daily and weekly.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So with rain-fed, you have to wait till Ghana, for example, we have 2 seasons for farming.
Yeah.
In the southern belt.
Yeah.
And then in the northern zone, it's just 1.
Yeah.
So for instance, if we are using the southern belt, when are we expected to fall? If I'm a farmer, when am I expecting the rain to start for me to start growing my crops? Around what time? Around March and April.
No, we start from March ending to April.
March ending to April. So
that is when you are expecting some few rains. From March, April, May, then more rains are coming.
Okay. So you have to take note. If you're a farmer, you decide to go with rain-fed system of farming, it means from January all the way to March ending, going to April before you are expecting rains to come.
Wow.
So around this time, you are just waiting in the house.
Yeah.
You are just waiting.
And with the irrigation, you plant your crops anytime.
Anytime, any day.
But with rain-fed, you have to do your maths very well. You have to hold your records. Okay, in April, I planted my maize on 10th April. Then next season, you have to wait to 10th April to plant your maize.
Okay.
Because you are waiting on rain-fed. But irrigation, any month at all, you are planting.
Okay.
You understand? Because you are confident you have water, whether dam or river or a well, to just operate your farm.
Okay. Also with rain-fed farming, if you are practicing that system, is it true that at times, because all of you who are practicing rain-fed, you have to wait till the rain starts, that is where you meet bumper season and you don't get good money.
Of course. Everybody, because it's season by season. Everybody's waiting for the season. So at the end of the day, when harvesting is due for harvest, everybody's harvesting because there's no irrigation system put in place. Everybody's harvesting. And at the time when you go to the market, bumper harvest and prices are reduced. You understand? So the best advice is you go for irrigation.
Now, if you are suggesting the way you are hammering, go for irrigation. These two systems, which one is more expensive?
Irrigation is expensive.
Irrigation is expensive.
When it comes to Ghana, it's expensive. When it comes to Ghana, it's very expensive compared to the rain-fed. So if a farmer who understands investment, who understands, okay, I want to make extra money, will budget around the cropping season and go for irrigation. Because now we are not doing farming, as I said, farming. And we are all trying to maximize our yields and add more income to the little we have. So the best option is you go for the types of irrigation. Then because at the end of the day, if there is bumper harvest, it won't affect you. Because you are harvesting anytime you want and you are making money anytime you want. So at the end of the day, a farmer someone will be like, hey, this person has money. No, but then it's system put in place for the farmer to earn more. So that is it.
Now, also with these two systems of farming, with the rain-fed and then the irrigation, how do I able to know which one goes down into the soil more?
Oh, okay. It depends the type of crops and the type of irrigation system we are using. We have the drip. Normally in this zones, we have the drip, we have the sprinkler. But most of the time, people go for the drip because of the type of crops they are growing. The vegetables, drip is the best because there's amount of water being regulated to the crop, and every crop has the amount you're supposed to give it. So when it comes to pepper, garden eggs, other okra and other things, maybe in the morning when you install your drip, there is a tube perforated on the system. So in the morning when you switch on the machine, it just gives you a little amount, and it's 2 times in the day, a little amount, and the amount has calculation. As it's drip, as is dropping. It's also giving the soil some moisture to give the crops to grow. Then in the evening, so it's monitoring. It's monitoring. So that is how.
So it's likely both of them can drain properly into the soil.
Everything. And with the sprinkler, it's just a portion of the land is being watered. You pick that same machine to a different portion of the land. At the end of the day, everything is being regulated and being watered. So all the system puts in, all the irrigation system gives adequate water to the crops. Yes.
Now, since we've cleared that, also, when it comes to irrigation and rain-fed, what kind of crop do you recommend I consider irrigation for? And what kind of crop do you recommend I consider rain-fed for?
Let me first touch on the rain-fed. With the rain-fed, I think plantations, tree crops are the best with the rain-fed, because they are long period crops that stay on the soil for a long period. So rain-fed is much okay for them. And that is all. Then when it comes to vegetables and the greens, irrigation is the best. Pepper, or some others say habanero or chili. We have sweet potato. We have garden eggs, okra, all the vegetables. Drip irrigation is the best after transplanting. Yes, for the nursery, you can still if you have a large scale nursery, you can still use drip irrigation. Yes, or those who use the flower plants, so people use that one is in a confined area like a greenhouse. Can use the drip.
So aside the crops I need to consider, do I also need to consider, let's say, location of my land? That also, is it a factor for me to decide I want to do rain-fed or irrigation?
Yes, I think location is very important. When it comes to the forest belt, you don't have to forest belts and the type of crop. Maybe in the forest belt, tree crops is best grown. There's no need for you to go do much of irrigation. Irrigation is mostly done with vegetables. Yes, vegetables and let's say root and tubers is also and grains is also okay. You can also use there.
Another clarity I would want has to do with the longevity of irrigation. Because, madam, if it's going to cost me, let's say, 15 to 20,000 to install irrigation in my 1 acre farm, how long will I use these tubes for? And also, what are the maintenance? How do I go about it?
Okay, with the irrigation, with all the system being installed in place, first of all, it's just a short period. You start from transplanting, you irrigate. When it's getting to the flowering stage, you just irrigate a few days.
Okay.
And then from the harvesting, the rest is good to go. You can still depend on the rain-fed.
Right.
You can still depend on the rain. When it comes to the maintenance, when you go to the right source, you are being educated. You can't just go to any store and just pick anything and just go. There are manual and everything put in place. So you just, when you go to the right source, try to probe further, ask them questions. How am I supposed to do it? And everything is being educated to you. When you come home, first of all, the tube should be cleaned, washed, and stored in a cool place. You just don't leave the tubes under the mercy of the sun. You understand me? It's going to just crack. It's just going to be very, very soft because everything needs to be well kept and maintained very well for the next season. And yes, and at times some of the tubes, some of the farmers don't really know how to maintain it. So debris and sand enters. And the next installation, when you are doing it, you realize that the water is not flowing. Then you'll be complaining, what is going on? This shows that there are sand have been choked that is blocking the flow of the water for the crops to also. So that's some of the maintenance.
Okay. So lastly, for the healthiness of the food I'm going to eat, isn't this plastic lying in my farm on the soil, watering my crops, isn't this going to have any implications or effect on the soil where I've planted?
Yeah, that's the reason the tubes have some period for it to stay in the farm. You don't have to leave the tube under the mercy of the sun, because as the sun is scorching it, it's becoming very soft, and definitely it can just tear apart. And just because you with rubber plastic just being entered into the soil, it doesn't decay very well. It doesn't decompose for anything. So we are even at times we are even advised not to use more of plastics. So recycling, everything has been going on. So immediately you are done irrigation, when you are done at the flowering stage, just pack everything, wash them well, and just keep them well.
Okay, so lastly, patience. If, let's say, a lot of my viewers are in the diaspora, and now per the education we are giving them, they are encouraged and motivated to come and start farming. Per what you're saying, the reality, if I want to make money, if I want to harvest my crop any day, any time, have good money, good market for it, what would you recommend among these two systems of farming? What would you recommend for me?
I think irrigation. Yeah, because first of all, we all want to have control over everything that we are having. Okay, so if you want to have, if a farmer is their own boss. As a boss, you have to have control of all your system around you. So first of all, when irrigation is put in place, first it's being monitored. First, you always beat other farms, other markets place, because some of the crops, when everybody is being dependent on the rain, and then it becomes bumper harvest, and then when it gets to market, there's more produce in the market. But with irrigation, it's all year round. Then you are being monitored. You are monitoring everything. Then if you want to make money, trust me, and irrigation is the best. Because first of all, one, although it's expensive, but then who doesn't want money? If you make sure you put all your checks, we all want investment. A farmer has to take a risk. First of all, you budget very well. But then you just don't say, I want to go into farming without having any budget put in place. And you want to make extra money on your harvest. So with the irrigation put in place, first of all, you have enough money. Secondly, you are always being, the crops are being monitored. And anytime you go to a farm, they're always smiling at you because they look so fresh. You understand? So I think the best method is irrigation.
Okay, so there you have it. Best method is irrigation. This is the Ghanaian farmer. My name is Enyonam, and Ghanaian farmer tagline is business tilling the land. So if you want to till the land, it is business, and it needs money, it needs investment. Today, I'm pretty sure that you have a clear decision to make, whether I want to do rain-fed or irrigation. Look, all the systems are good, but they have the advantages and disadvantages. We might not touch on all the points, but this alone should give you something to think about. Please subscribe. Yes, you, I'm sure you're watching. Subscribe. Don't skip the ad. Let them play. Continue watching and share the link. Her name is Patient Peda. She's married with a son and expecting the second one. She's very hardworking. I love her so much, and I want you to support her foundation. If you're out there watching us, we have women over 100 she's supervising. Please send some donation to support Patience. She always walk with me around the place, pregnant, driving motor. Appreciate her work. You can send your donation through 0554830431. She's on LinkedIn, Patience Walalipeda.
Yeah.
Connect with her, support her, encourage. Without them, you cannot grow. You can't grow your produce. They need to come around and supervise you. So we need to motivate them as well. My name always, and when you see me in town, call me Ghana's finest farmer. Thank you very much, Patience.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, see you. Bye bye.